welcome. We really want to, the purpose of the meeting is to really start setting the stage for next year and kind of getting a little bit back to normal. And hopefully that's where we'll be next year. So we appreciate you guys just kind of getting through this year. I know it's been kind of a challenge for all of us, just between athletics and all of our extracurriculars and everything we do here at HHS. So hopefully we're gonna be planning with the idea that, and I really apologize for the crackle. We'll try to, maybe if I talk softer. Yeah, there we go. But we'll try to hopefully, we're going to plan with the idea that next year is going to be pretty much kind of back to normal. So we're going to try to transition to that. What's a little bit challenging is that you guys haven't really experienced kind of a typical year in NHS. So as the officers talk about all the different officer positions, they'll also be kind of talking about what kind of normally happens. And we'll be doing some training in May and June to really let you guys kind of know what next year is going to look like. So we'll be doing some stuff at the end of the year to really set the stage for next year. So that's kind of the purpose of this meeting, is to kind of get going with that. For a lot of you, it's time to decide if you want to be an officer in NHS for next year. So that's something to start thinking about. That's really your only action item for this meeting, is if you decide you want to run for an officer position. So it's something to kind of think about. Would like to encourage a lot of you to do that. There's going to be lots of opportunities to lead next year. So if you're somebody who's really into like tutoring, or if you're somebody who has some project you want to do and you want to be a team leader, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for leadership. So if you don't get to be an officer, we're going to hope that you're going to be somebody that wants to maybe be a team leader in recycling. You want to be a team leader in tutoring. If you want to be a team leader for some other awesome project, we're happy to kind of create those positions for you and rally some people around you. That's typically what happens in NHS. Usually we get some sort of projects going. A lot of them are started by you guys. We try to get the mass of people that are here excited about it, and we take off with different projects. So there'll be lots of opportunities to lead. But today we're going to talk about the officer positions, and then in May and June we'll be setting up some of our team leaders for next year in terms of recycling and tutoring and all that stuff. So again, we're just setting the stage for next year, trying to get things kind of planned out. So this meeting, if you haven't done so, we have an agenda. It is in the NHS Google Classroom. So if you guys want to open up your iPads and go to the NHS Google Classroom, you should see the meeting agenda for today. It's entitled like March 17, 2021, so it's got today's date on it under meeting agendas. It should have popped up in your assignments. So go to NHS Google Classroom and then click on today's meeting agenda, and then you can kind of follow along with the officers as they talk about different things. So we're going to start by talking about service to kind of set the stage for next year, what you need to be thinking about in terms of service. So I think Chris is going to talk about that.
We have to find a level that's comfortable, like where it doesn't count.
Thank you.
On that.
Okay, so is this working? Okay. Ruby is usually the service VP, but she is in quarantine right now, so I am filling in for her. So, some service hour updates. The minimum service hour requirement of 30 hours has been waived this year, so good news for you guys. Starting April 1st, you can start accumulating service hours for next year. Please keep track of any service hours you accumulate on the service log sheet. Please continue to include any service hours to your family and friends that go above and beyond your usual contribution. Even as more people become vaccinated, your safety is paramount during this time. Note, peer collaboration counts as 75 hours per semester. If you have second semester peer collaboration, you can count through 37.5 hours and then carry over 37.5 hours towards next year's service hour requirement. Also, starting April 1st, your service hour can start counting towards the National Service PIN. 3 levels of national service recognition for service performed during April 1st, 2021 and April 1st, 2022 are available to all Hudson seniors. So if you have 100 to 174 hours, you get a bronze service pin to be worn at graduation. If you get 175 to 249 hours, you get a silver service pin to be worn. And then 250 or more total hours, you get a gold service pin to be worn at graduation. Okay, so now we'll talk about officer elections, and I'll hand it over to Mr. Shu.
Okay, before we do officer elections, is everybody clear on service hours? So we're basically resetting April 1st. So it feels a little bit weird because we're still in this school year, but basically starting April 1st, your hours start for next year. Yeah, Annie, go ahead.
No hours from this year can be put down for next year.
Yes, so here's the reason why. It's not our rule, it's the rule that the National Service Organization works. So when we get those pins, it's based on one calendar year. So we always go from April 1st to April 1st, those 12 months, because that gives us about 6 weeks to order the pins for graduation. So that's why that date is kind of picked. It always has to be 12 months service. So yeah, it's more the national pin. That's how they do it. It's not based on your total years in high school or how many hours you get total. So yeah, everything kind of resets. The 250 starts April 1st if you're going for that, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. If you do any kind of summer stuff, if you're doing mission trips or anything like that, we count 8 hours per day max. So even if you're there 24 hours, for 7 days, 8 hours max on that kind of stuff. But anyways, yeah, just so you know, it resets April 1st. So some of you might get your hours done for next year, done by the end of the school year this year, which kind of sounds weird, but that's the way that goes. Anybody else have any questions on service hours? Everybody's okay. So everybody's in good standing, as long as you don't kind of get in trouble this year, you're going to be in good shape. So the service hour for this year, that whole thing is waived, but we are starting, assuming that everything's going to be full go next year. So we start April 1st, start keeping track of everything, and we'll start counting it for your senior year, okay? All right, so we're going to talk about officer elections.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Gabby Alfredo, I'm the president. I'm going to start off by talking about what the president does in NHS. So, pretty much, the president is the person who overlooks, they overlook all of NHS, and they assist all of the other directors that you're going to hear about. They assist all of them in the process of what they're doing. But the main responsibilities of the president are coordinating the induction ceremony, which was virtual this year, but most years you'd be able to present it up here, which was one of the main things I wanted to do, but hopefully you guys will get to do that. And then you also are just in charge of leading the meetings like this, which are usually once a month, but this year this is your second one. And that's pretty much it. It's probably one of the easier roles. So, yeah, you should run for president. It's a good time. Okay, I'm giving it over now.
All right. Hi, I'm Jacob Cox. I'm speaking on behalf of Ruby for the VP of Service, or it's going to be called the Director of Service for next year. The position is pretty much the VP of Service serves as the first point of contact for if there's outside service organizations that want students from NHS to do service for them. Then if they contact the if they contact Mr. Shu or Mr. Garrett, usually the first people they tell is the VP of Service, and then they're the ones who they share the information with everybody else in NHS, and they sort of serve as the general service representative for NHS, and some of their specific jobs include like helping to organize the Hutton Public Library tutoring and after-school tutoring, and just any community service opportunities and stuff. So, if you're interested and you like service, I would suggest, and I think it would be pretty cool if somebody decided to run for the director of service. So, that's pretty much it.
Recycling something.
Hey guys, oh god. Hello. Is that better? Is there any Sorry. Hey guys, my name is Gabe Botros. I am the first VP of recycling. Jacob is my partner here. And this position is for a required team of 2. And as you guys might have seen, maybe, how old are you guys? So you guys are just 1 year behind us. Okay, so you guys have seen the kids who walk around the hallways collecting recycling for the teachers. So the heads of VP, or the VPs of recycling are in charge of kind of organizing and leading the recycling throughout the school, kind of the in-school volunteer work. So, 1 second. They manage the building-wide recycling at HHS every Explore period. I think we're gonna do it every other week.
Yeah, we're assuming we're pretty much back to normal, so it might be every week or every other week, so depending on what the building needs are, so. But it'll definitely be happening on a regular basis next year.
So you're gonna see a spreadsheet and your name is gonna be in a certain group in a certain quadrant of the school. And every week, different people are gonna be assigned to different roles, and in these roles, you're gonna be in charge of collecting teachers' paper and plastic recycling, and in charge of bringing them out to the recycling bins outside of school. So the heads of recycling are just in charge of coordinating the weekly volunteers, taking attendance for the recycling volunteers, and communicate weekly reminders with all of the members. As I said before, it is a team of 2, and it's actually a lot of fun. So I recommend running for it.
Okay, so my name is Chris O. I think everybody knows that. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm going to tell you why the director of special events is the best possible position in NHS. Okay, so you get to organize and manage back to school night, team leaders, you get to do the induction ceremony, and you get to plan the alumni reception, and even community event team leaders. So any special events that's going on in NHS, you guys are, well, the VP of special events or the director of special events is in charge of that. So, pretty cool job, right? So, apply for it. Thank you.
All right, so I'm Matthew, one of the directors of technology. So the directors of technology mostly deal with things like organizing attendance, service hours, determining eligibility, and handling our spreadsheets that track all of that. So if you, this is an appointed position, so we aren't going to have a vote for the position, but if you're interested in applying, definitely let either Mr. Garrett or Mr. Shu know. And you should just let them know if you have experience with working with things like Google Forms, Google Sheets, and Google Sheets formulas. Those are just some of the things you'll probably want experience with. And for all of these leadership positions that we've discussed, you can earn service hours by coordinating and leading any events that take place.
So now that you've heard of all of the different positions that you can be elected or appointed to, you probably are wondering how you run for them. So, April 9th is the deadline for if you want to be an officer. If you want to be the director of technology, you have to contact the advisors. For all other positions, you must submit a 1-minute election pitch. You are only allowed to run for one office, either president, director of service, director of recycling, or director of special events. What you will do is you will record your video with your partner if you're running for director of recycling, and then you will upload it into the folder. The link is in the agenda. One note is that it should be titled with your name, and it should be in the subfolder corresponding to the position that you are running for. And you should submit your video by Friday, April 9th. Once we do that, we will hold the officer elections the subsequent week using a Google form, and then may the person who gets the most votes win. And one note of clarification, just in case it wasn't clear, currently we are president and vice presidents as the officers. However, we've decided to change the vice president titles to director, mainly because it looks a bit better on a resume. So it is director of technology, special events, recycling, and service, and not VP. And with that, I will turn it over to Gabby to talk about upcoming events.
Hi, I'm Gabby. So anybody have any questions on elections? How that works? Just want to make sure everybody's kind of clear on that. So again, if you're somebody who's into technology, if you're good with spreadsheets, maybe you're like a computer science kind of person, we're looking for somebody who's got some technical skills to kind of fill that role with VP of Technology. So the VP of Technology, and it could be a dual role, like we have 2 people this year, but a lot of that role is oftentimes supporting the other roles. So you might be generating spreadsheets to help with recycling and coming up with lists and stuff so that everybody has access to that. So it's really a support position, keeping track of service hours, helping with attendance issues, and kind of creating formulas within spreadsheets to kind of figure out, how to make it run more efficiently for things like attendance, both at recycling and attendance at meetings and stuff like that. So if you're somebody where that's kind of speaking to you right now, we're kind of looking for that specific expertise. That's why it's an appointed position, because we want you to have a specific set of skills for that. So if that's you, please seek out me or Mr. Garrett, and there's kind of an informal kind of interview process for that, and then we'll make a decision about that, and if we're going to have 1 or 2 people in that position. Everybody else, though, all those other positions, again, you want to submit a video. The formatting is kind of important as far as make sure you label the video with your name on it, and it should be the name that as you want it on the ballot. So we're going to take all those videos, whatever name you have there, that's the name that will appear on the Google form ballot that we'll put. So imagine the ballot will probably have, here's the VP of special events, and here's all the people. It'll be your name and your video will be in the ballot so people can watch the videos, and then they'll vote within the Google form. They'll select whoever they want, and then you'll move on to the next position with all the names and the videos. So it's important that the naming is accurate so that we can make sure we have the right name to go with the right video and all that stuff. Okay, so just kind of make sure you follow those directions, and we should be in pretty good shape. All right, so we have some upcoming events. I think Gabby's going to talk about those.
Yeah, okay. So some upcoming events we've got going. So April 9th is the deadline that you have to submit your video if you are running for either the president or one of the director positions. The week of April 12th through the 16th, the elections will be held via Google Forms, and that will just be sent to your email. Week of April 26th through the 30th, we're going to have another meeting for mainly the new elected officers, just so that we can meet with them, give them the lowdown on what they're going to do, and kind of just prep you guys for the next school year. And then in May, we're going to have the recycling team leaders sign up for one of the leadership roles in recycling, and then we're going to do some recycling training. And then the week of June 1st through the 4th, we'll have another membership meeting for seniors too.
No,
Just juniors, okay. Yeah, another meeting for just you guys. And then in June will be the seniors graduation, and then a potential leadership conference, which if that happens, you guys should definitely apply for. One of the best couple days of high school by far, and you would miss out on your last couple of days of school, which is a win. So, yeah, go to the leadership conference. Okay, that's all.
Okay, any questions for the good of the group? Anybody? It's okay. All right, well, finish strong. We got what? Today, and then we got what? 3 days this week, 5 days next week, spring break. Finish strong studying for AP tests, right? Because those are coming up, so I know it's a little bit of a grind right now, so junior year is always a little bit rough. So kind of keep going. Again, if you're interested in the VP of Technology, make sure you talk to me or Mr. Garrett. And if you're interested in running for office, April 9th, so that'll be the week after we're back from spring break with those videos. Okay? Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
And if you have any questions at home, please email them to any of the officers or the advisors or nhs.hudson.k12.oh.us. And thank you for watching.